Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the School of Life, a podcast about learning beyond the textbooks. It's about growth, challenges, and the lessons that actually matter in the real world. I'm Mr. Shah, and if you're here, you're probably someone who's passionate about personal development, teaching, or just figuring out life one step at a time. And this is not your typical school, by the way. There are no boring lectures, no pop quiz, just real conversations about self improvement, productivity, mindset, and everything I wish someone had taught me earlier. And whether you're a student of life, an educator, teacher, or just someone looking to grow, you're in the right place. So, why did I start this podcast, this School of Life? The answer is simple. I love teaching and I love learning, and I've been teaching for more than 3 years now. And of course, for a year, last year, I worked in marketing and sales. But before that, I was working at the education center. Now it's been almost a year since I started working in a private school. So I've always believed that the best lessons aren't found in textbooks. They come from experience. Everybody knows this, right? They come from people who've been there, who've already, walked the path, who failed, who figured it out and kept going. So for a while now, I've been into uh, you know, learning, teaching, and I've tried, creating a content as well. And I realized a podcast is one of the best ways to share ideas, because I myself am a fan of podcasts. I listen to Modern Wisdom podcast where Chris Williamson, you know, um, talks to different, unique, and like intelligent people, and other podcasts as well. Andrew Huberman, Joe Rogan, they're like the best ones, right? So the podcast is the, in my opinion, the best way to share ideas, connect with people, and even we can start meaningful conversations with the guests. But not today. Today, it's just me, right? But it won't be like this, all the time. The other times, the other episodes, um, we might even, um, invite guests. So, and I guess the first episode, I have to tell you about like about our podcast, like what is it about, right? So every episode from today on, I'll be diving into topics that matter. Things like self discipline, productivity, mindset shifts, and real world skills. And as I said before, some episodes will be just me, sharing insights, breaking things down, talking, right? Other times I'll bring on guests, some teachers, entrepreneurs sometimes, or even my students sometimes, to know their perspectives on learning and growth. And actually, I want this podcast to be a two-way conversation. If you have topics you would love to hear about, if you have any topic that I uh you want me to talk about, and make an episode about, or if you have questions, even stories to share, just reach me out, hit me up, and um we can make this a community of learners, actually. So, since this is our first episode, let me share a bit about myself. I've been, um, kind of struggling in life because of the difficulties I had and I faced so far, and even from the beginning of this of my school years, in the from the very first grade till 11th grade, I yeah, there were lessons that I've learned, right? But most of the times, now if I'm looking back at those years, my childhood, and I'm realizing now I didn't learn that much at school, and that's why uh, I then struggled a lot in the real world when I after like graduation, right? I had to find a work, and even in the workplace after I was hired, um, I was struggling with communication. I didn't know you know like basic skills, let's say, and I thank now my very first manager to teach me everything he knows about these things. And yeah, that's why here, I wanna share those little moments and experiences and knowledge to make you skilled as possible, because I don't want you to struggle just like me. And over the years, I have explored different ways to grow, whether it's through books, mentors, but most of the time it was just trial and error. Um, actually, the biggest lesson I've learned actually, it is I've seen no one has it all figured out. I've seen most successful people, even our CEO, the our school CEO. He's also constantly learning, and that's the mindset I want to bring to this podcast, because the moment we stop learning, we stop growing, as they say, right? And last thing, uh, if there's one thing I want you to take away um, from this first episode, it is this: um, learning isn't something that ends after school, right? Everybody knows this. It's a lifelong process. Even the most successful people, the richest people in the world, or these luckiest person, they are the ones who stay curious, who keep questioning, experimenting, and improving. And that's what the school of life is all about. This podcast will be, you know, uh, in this podcast we are students here. Okay, we're trying to we will try figure things out as we go. No one has the answers. No one has answers, but we together can find better ones. All right. So if you're ready to learn, grow, or challenge yourself, stick around. I'd love, I'd love you to be here, stay with me, and be part of this journey. Before you go, here's how you can support our podcast. Please follow or subscribe wherever you're listening, Spotify maybe, or Apple Podcasts, um, and leave a review. If not, it's not a hard job to do. It really helps more people find this podcast. And as I said before, if you have a topic idea or lesson you've learned, uh, we can make this interactive. Just DM me on Telegram at uh, Mr. Shahri Javalif, or you can email me at shahrukh 17 at gmail.com. That's it for today. Thanks for tuning in, and welcome to the School of Life. Class is in session. Let's get started. See you next time.